wreck, no need to fret. Call 877-BIKER-LAW. Insurance companies don't like facing Jason. Call 877-BIKER-LAW. When you call Jason, you're placing your trust in a rider like you. The motorcycle lawyer. Yeah, he wrote the book on what to do. Yeah. Been in a wreck, no need to fret. Call 877-BIKER-LAW.
Is the cold weather giving you shivers in your timbers? Call A to Z Heating and Cooling from start to finish. We get the job done right. We offer multiple financing offers as well as options for credit struggles. We offer Generac installation and services to keep your home the brightest on the block. We also offer duct cleaning for our seasonal allergy sufferers. We all know cleaner air quality equals a healthier life. You can find us on the web at atozheatingandcooling.com or by calling 313-291-8200. We are running a pre-season tune-up safety inspection for $79.95 through December 31st. A to Z Heating and Cooling from start to finish. Call us today at 313-291-8200. Tell them the Cave sent you.
You're listening to CRBRadio.com. The words and opinions you are about to hear are of the hosts and do not reflect the management, sponsors, or affiliates of Cave Radio Broadcasting.
May the force be with. We stand together like a band of Mandalorians. So which side are you on, Marvel or DC? Disney or Stan Lee? Mason and Big E, we getting busy on Peachfuzz and the Beard. Now you're in the multiverse and each one will be weird. So dial it in, the Cave Radio frequency. Sunday from 6 to 8, only on CRB. And the Beard. Talking about and the
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Peachfuzz and the Beard here on Cave Radio Broadcasting, www.crbradio.com. This is episode number 9. I got my right-hand man over to my left, Mason, as always. And we got a full table today. We last night, these guys were all hanging out together, partying up at the Duffy's Den, watching our good buddy Mike Smith, the Electric Glove, play a live set at Duffy's. And just what a great week to be a Detroiter. Let's just say Detroiter. A Detroit resident, a Metro Detroit resident, a Michigander, so to speak, because we brought it this week, and the world saw it. The the NFL draft was down at Campus Martius Park, Cadillac Square. Mason went down on Friday, couldn't get anywhere near. Like, he was there, he was in the vicinity, but he wasn't anywhere. He couldn't get anywhere near the stage or any of that stuff. They didn't get down there till damn near 8 o'clock. But just the craziness that ensued. Like, they shut it down Thursday at 6:30, an hour and a half before the draft because there was too many people there. And then when all was said and done, we just were on our way in here. Mason and I listening to the fan, and 775,000 fans came down to the city of Detroit to watch a draft. Incredible. The NFL draft. And
That's just what they call me with the clickers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was just the people that went through the gates.
That wasn't Hart Plaza.
Yeah. Can you bump her mic up just a tad bit? Yeah. Well, the Hart Plaza, that was the what do you call it? The fan zone. But then there was there was Tiger State. There was people at Tiger Stadium.
There's a park across from Tiger Stadium where they had a bunch of food trucks and like a giant jumbotron.
Yeah, so if you couldn't get down there, you could still go down there because the Tigers they were home this weekend.
But it was like a 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. game or something like that.
It was 1 p.m. on Friday, but yesterday was 6:10, so it was before the game. There was going down.
It was a great game last night too.
Yeah, and then they beat Kansas City today. But just an overall great experience down there. And then that's not even to count the watch parties at all the other local bars or houses or whatever. Mason and I went up to the bar across the street from my house, the Irish Tavern in Madison Heights, and we had dinner, and there was a
Bears fan.
whole group of Lions fans, and there was a Bears fan sitting with all these Lions fans, and he was going ape shit because he had the first pick or whatever, and the Caleb Williams thing, so he stood up and screaming with his Bears, screaming. It was just fun.
Well, they were there. The event was at capacity when we got down there.
Yeah.
Like we drove down and they were turning people around on Jefferson Avenue by the Renaissance.
Yeah.
And you had to go back around. We parked by Tech, and we were gonna go to Gilly's bar.
Yeah.
Kurt Gibson's bar.
Yeah.
It was right on the corner where it's at.
Is that where
it's
Tim told you to go?
What? Yeah. Well, that's one of the options. It was like right there is where the main entrance was that we went in and walked all the way down, and we couldn't get anywhere near the place.
So we'll talk a little bit here in a little bit about the draft picks and what we are thinking about the Lions, because just a great event. And then the Lions, if you watched the draft, we'll talk a little bit here.
Sorry.
If you watched the draft, I was like, hey, there I am.
Oh my God.
If
The voices are back.
Yeah, if you watch the draft, the first round's always Roger Goodell, and then he'll bring out some people to kind of do some specialty picks or whatever. But day 2, it's always like a GM or a player of the team or whatever. Do you got that clip?
Yeah, I do.
So we're gonna play this here in a minute. But like the Detroit Lions, there was like ex-Lions, there was ex-Michigan Wolverines. Like Brandon Graham made the pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Graham was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles 16, 17 years ago. He's played every down, every snap with the Philadelphia Eagles. He came out and made his pick, but he came out and was like, "What up, though? Like Michigan, it's Michigan, baby, it's Detroit." And it was I think they did that for every team. It was like a Detroit resident, a Detroit. Ex-Detroit player that played somewhere else now, a Michigan State player, a Western Michigan player. That's how they did it. So it was kind of cool because there was that just complete Michigan-Detroit feel to the whole thing.
Nice.
So late, was it Friday night? Yeah, because he went out. He had his buddies at the house. So this guy here, Jamal Charles, it hasn't played in years. He had one of the most gruesome injuries ever, and I had him on my fantasy team that year. Blew his knee out, and I don't think he ever really came back from it. So, like, if you're reading off a cue card, wouldn't you think you should be able to read, Pelto?
Well, so I went to school. There's a kid at Specs Howard who was awesome at everything until we put him in front of the green screen to do weather for the live news show. I've never seen anybody melt down. Like, not just freeze, but like try to say words and like
So
they literally just like came out like in rambled jumbles.
It was like
not
Steve
words.
Carell on
That's what I was
the
picturing.
Bruce Almighty when he was like,
Yes. Yes. like that, but with longer pauses between all the
Right.
sounds, and it was hard to watch.
And a couple funny things is I've never really had that problem getting in front of people and talking. I've always been a good, like, in front of people at school and all that stuff. This guy right here to my right, Tony Schwartz, Freedom Works, Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. He's one of our guests tonight. The first show he did, him and Jake, they came down in the basement, and I'm sitting here running the show where I am. I think Tony was pretty much where he was. Jake was at the end of the table. This was in my basement. And they get on the thing, and they're looking at each other like, yeah, so I got a gun. Yeah, I got a gun. You want to go shoot our guns together? And then there was just a long pause, and I'm like, this is going horrible. So I was like, so I jumped in and was like, I go, so, what is your, so then I kept going. But once he got that, yeah, like he's like, what do I do with my hands? Just freaking out. But it was just funny. And a lot of people are like that. Now Tony has no problem getting in front of people and talking and whatever. You know what I mean? It's that initial thing. But, like, this isn't, like, when he was going through this, you'll know what I mean here in a minute. I literally feared for him. I thought he was